Hey guys, it's TFNut. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be doing finally my top 10 favorite figures of 2022. Just about every day this week leading up to this list, I've done different subcategories of favorites of the year leading up to what now I think is the best of the year, or at least my favorites. You're allowed to agree or disagree, however you'd like, of course. This was an absolutely fantastic year for action figures across the board. I do want to say some things though. While I was a little bit disappointed and frustrated with a lot of things going on with the domestic lines this year, that does not mean that there wasn't good stuff coming out of these lines. There was some fantastic stuff, as you see here. But I do want to say that I think the company that really shined this year was Bandai Nations. I know I've been singing their praises just a little bit too much to the point where I'm kind of overhyping them. I can totally understand if people are put off by that. However, I think that the quality is getting so much better with that line. I might be a little bit biased based on the properties that they're working on, but the character selection so far is pretty good. It could be a little bit better. Hopefully next year we'll get more characters from these different lines, but just really fantastic figures across the board from Nations. I'm hoping next year is going to be an even better year for the company, as well as the stuff that you see here. Hopefully it's better for these other companies as well. I may not have gotten every single little thing from different companies that you see here on this list, or from companies that I don't collect from. My list is going to be extremely different from different people's lists, and that's a good thing. I love seeing different people's opinions based on the stuff that they collect of what is the best of the year. But I still think I have a pretty decent selection of different characters and different companies represented in my list that you're going to be seeing here. Really quick, these are the honorable mentions that you're seeing. Unfortunately, they did not make the actual top 10, but they are so good that they had to get a special shout out. So, number 20 in the back here, Star Wars The Black Series Mandalorian version of Ahsoka Tano. Fantastic figure. It looks just like Rosario Dawson if you ask me. The paint and sculpt work on it is really well done. Just the overall figure is so good. Number 19, the NECA Back to the Future Ultimate Doc Brown figure. Been waiting on this particular version of the Doc for a while. Even though it wasn't blown away by it, I still think it's a really good figure. Number 18, Star Wars The Black Series Ned B. Really impressed with this figure, a lot more than I thought it was going to be. Some parts of the yellow could have some better paint, as well as the gray. Maybe could have some metallic paint too. But the paint apps that are on here are fantastic. The overall sculpt is great, and the articulation is surprisingly good. At number 17, I'm going to give it to the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Retro Collection Hammerhead. That is such an awesome figure. One of the best head sculpts I've seen them do in the line in recent years. It is fantastic. The bulkier suit body is really great too. The pinstripes are really nicely painted. Just that the knees are a little blocky and the ankles are a little bit hard to pose around sometimes. Number 16 is the G.I. Joe Classified Series Kamakura figure, which comes with a ton of stuff. Some of the parts of this figure are a little bit plain looking, mostly talking about the upper torso, but everything else about this figure, articulation, other parts that have great paint and detail. Such a fun figure. Top 15 to 11. Number 15, I gotta give it to the Black Series Dark Troopers. Unfortunately, I am confirming that there is no Black Series figure in the top 10, unfortunately. But this is my favorite Black Series figure of the year. A fantastic army builder. Really nice in size, really decent articulation. Just a little bit of a loose chest piece, and I just feel like the black is just a little too plastic looking, but it's still a fantastic piece. Number 14 is going to be the Rebel Tech Amazing Yamaguchi My Hero Academia Todoroki. Just a couple things about my particular figure that I don't know if it's like this across the board, but I think there's just a few loose joints in the torso. He just looks a little bow-legged, but other than that, it's absolutely fantastic when it comes to detail and sculpting and all the different accessories that you're getting. Then at number 13, I'm going to put the SH Figure Arts Naruto Shippuden Sakura Haruno figure. Finally got a Sakura in the line. The only thing I'm not a big fan about this figure is that it should have come with some weapons, as well as whatever's going on with the back of the shoulders is a little bit weird, but the rest of the figure, the detail paint and sculpt work is really fantastic. Number 12, I got to give it to the SH Figure Arts Jujutsu Kaisen Nobara Kugisaki figure. Very happy with that figure. One thing I forgot to mention in my top 10 favorite SH Figure Arts of the year, though, is that the skirt kind of gets in the way of articulation and posing it around. As well as I think the hair, I did say this, the hair could have some better paint. But she comes with just about everything this character needs and is an absolutely fantastic figure. And this figure right here, number 11, was really close to making it on the list. It would have been 2 years in a row that we had a Gojo in the actual top 10. But that is the SH Figure Arts Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen 0. In some ways, better than the first one. That was my favorite. The first one was my favorite figure of last year. But with this particular figure, I just don't feel like there's that much new here. Yeah, mostly talking about the body compared to what is going to be in the actual top 10. The amount of accessories that it has, though, and the different accessories from the previous version are fantastic. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and finally get to the top 10. At number 10, I'm giving it to the NECA Ultimate Evil Dead 1 version of Ash Williams. Such a fantastic figure. Definitely my favorite NECA figure of the year. Look at that. That is a young Bruce Campbell. That likeness is captured just about perfectly, if you ask me. I don't know if they're using face printing technology or if this is all sculpt work and paint. That's even more impressive. So I'm not entirely sure there, but either way, it is such a great looking head sculpt. Hair detail's really good too. The brighter highlights in this bright blue shirt and some of the wrinkles, they come through really nice. The detailing on the shirt is great. It comes with a lot of accessories that I don't have here, or really for the other figures on this list, I don't have any of the accessories on me right now. But just great sculpt work all across the board with the pants. The articulation could be much better, but it's just such a nice looking figure, and I'm so happy to have it in my collection. At number 9, we have the Good Smile Company Figma Max Factory Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel Rider 2.0 figure. Absolutely gorgeous figure. I think it's an absolutely beautiful figure. Now look, I may be an absolute simp, okay? But I think that this is an objectively great figure. I did not get every single Figma figure across the different properties that they made this year, but just personally speaking, I think this is one of my favorite Figma I own overall in my collection. They did an absolutely great job. A lot of her different details, all the different faceplates are great. Her overall sculpt in her outfit, all that is really well done too. All the different paint apps in here. Really clean. It's just really easy for Figma figures to get scuffed, unfortunately. The back of the head has a tiny bit of a scuff, and she's been standing the whole time. I'm not sure how that exactly happened. The hair system is really well done. I really like that they were able to just make this all look very natural. And we have the, softer plastic overlapping the harder plastic, so joints aren't in the way. However, unfortunately, that does weigh down the hair a little too much when posing. Her hips are also a little bit loose, but not so much to where I still can't keep a pose. Love this figure. At number 8, I'm going to give it to the SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Z Krillin figure. Super happy with this figure. We've been needing a new Krillin for a long time, and they definitely delivered. Even though this is a bit of a smaller character, they were able to get in just as much detail and articulation, maybe sometimes even more so in terms of the range of motion with this figure. I'm super impressed with just how much you can move around this figure and just how clean whatever paint apps are here are in this figure. This is mostly shading here, this decal as well. Head sculpts, all of those are fantastic. I've mentioned already, I wish there was an extra smiling expression. Other than that, such a great figure. The Destructo disc also is a welcome addition with this. Yeah, love this thing. Number 7, I'm going to give it to the Marvel Legends Infinity Ultron Series Disney Plus Hawkeye figure. Now, it seems a little strange to be putting a domestic $25 figure over imports. A lot of the decisions on this list are based on, if I had a certain expectation and if the figure met or exceeded that expectation. This figure is so much more fun than I thought it was going to be. Don't get me wrong, I was very excited for this, but I didn't think it was going to be this good. I really like it. Head sculpt is absolutely fantastic. I do wish we had, arrows coming out of the quiver, but this new quiver is really sick. The bow and the different hands are really great. The paint, there might be just ever so slight imperfections on this particular figure that I have. The actual paint and sculpt is great. Pinless tech on here is awesome. The unique body is great. I do want them to reuse these legs in the future, though, so I can use this for kit bashes and customs and all that. And it's just such a clean, well-executed Marvel Legends figure. Number 6 is going to be the Marvel Legends Atuma Series Comic Black Panther figure. Now, I know that this does seem like a pretty basic figure for $25. It definitely could have maybe an unmasked head as well as actual shading in the body because it's mostly just molded in this black plastic with a little bit of gray in there. But I am just so impressed with this figure. I didn't think that this was going to be a necessary purchase, and once I finally had it in hand, it quickly became my favorite Black Panther figure I own. The Vulcan body on here is fantastic. The pinless tech is great. The parts that they use to swap out from the Vulcan body to make this more unique are also pretty nice here. Again, some more stuff and better paint would have gone a long way. But I was blown away by it. I didn't have very high expectations for it, and it's just, I think, so good. Okay, top 5 figures. At number 5, we have the Sasuke Uchiha figure from the SH Figure Arts Naruto Shippuden line. Absolutely love this figure. The sword here, all the different accessories, different hands and faces. Such a clean figure. Look at the printing in the eyes. That is so just fantastic. I did mention this in my top 10 SH Figure Arts video. Inconsistent paint where the neck is here compared to the rest of the skin tone is just a little bit off-putting. Everything else about it, such a fantastic figure. Great shading in some areas. This back system also isn't perfect either when you swap out, wherever the sword is supposed to be holstered. But, this is a soft plastic skirt piece, and it doesn't get in the way of articulation at all. My legs might be a little bit loose. I haven't posted this around too much, but that could just be me. Other than that, man, it's just such a fantastic sculpted figure. And I'm not even that big of a Naruto fan, and I still love this figure. Number 4, I'm going to give it to the SH Figure Arts Naruto from Naruto Shippuden. And I will explain really quick again why this is a little bit higher than Sasuke. Because, being $35 does help. Not only is it a really good figure for $35, but you can buy more and more of these and make shadow clones. It doesn't come with as much stuff as Sasuke, but it still comes with a lot of stuff on its own as well. It's a very fun figure. Great detailing. The face plates are great. All the different hands, all the different poses you can get this figure in is great. Just not a fan of how loose this piece is right here. Shading is mostly really good. And all the different details and paint on this figure is mostly fantastic. I think there's just a little bit of a splotch. Yeah, a tiny bit splotch that's still there ever since I've owned this. And it does feel like it's a little too tall compared to Sasuke, but it is still such an awesome figure. Number 3 is going to be the Marvel Legends first appearance Spider-Man from the 60 Amazing Years collection of releases. I know what some of you may be thinking. A Marvel Legends figure over SH Figure Arts Naruto figures? Yeah, I know. I can kind of understand, but I just love this figure so much. It's definitely my favorite Marvel Legends of the year. I think pretty much everything about it is fantastic, and especially this new body mold is so great. Pinless tech on here is great. Just very minor paint defects on mine, but stuff that I can look past, honestly. Such a great body. Very natural for this particular version of the character. I know it's not absolutely accurate to the first appearance version, but I still love it regardless. It comes with so many accessories, including, finally, gripping hands for web accessories. The web wings aren't perfect, but it's still nice that they included those. And this thing is just so much fun to wear. This was a $28 figure, and I do think it's actually worth the $28 price point. Number 2 is going to be the SH Figure Arts Yuta Okotsu from Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Love this figure so much. The only problem is just inconsistent shading in the blue and the white uniform. But other than that, it's just such a fantastic figure. Lots of great different faces. Great detail on the overall body. This unique sculpt is just fantastic. The engineering of the articulation is great. The shoes are also awesome. Love the katana. Even though this red handle isn't painted, I'm fine with that because I don't want the paint to scuff into the hands. And the detailing in there is awesome. That blade is so sick. It's just so fun to pose around. The articulation is so impressive, and I am very happy with it. And at number 1, I'm going to give it to the SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Super Superhero Ultimate Gohan figure. Such a fantastic figure. Now, I know it's pretty basic and it doesn't come with that much stuff. I would have paid more for a lot more accessories, of course. And we'll be getting those with other premium Bandai figures that I've already talked about before. But just as it is, this $35 to $45 figure is fantastic. There may not be that much paint in some areas, but, there's just mostly molded plastic and a little bit of paint apps. But what paint apps are there are pretty great with nice shading in some areas. Boots have really fantastic detail and sculpting The hands and different faces are also great. This overall body sculpt is really nice. The articulation is top notch for this figure. Now, one thing I was concerned about was that this face would have looked a little too CGI-esque, you know, kind of like how Goku and Vegeta looked to me, but this thing will fit in with your superhero figures as well as the rest of your normal Dragon Ball collection just fine. And because of all the different stuff involved with this figure, I am super impressed with it, and it is my favorite figure of the year. I posed this figure more than anyone else out of the collection this year. Absolutely love this figure. So that's it. That's my top 10 of the year. My favorites. I'd love to know your thoughts down below. Did you agree or disagree with anything on this list? What were some of your favorites of the year? Let me know. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there. And I'll see you guys later.